Hello, Scorpio. It's time for your October Tarotscope. Scorpio, I've laid out the cards for you, and I've gotten some oracle cards pulled for you, so let's get into your reading for October. So the first card up is the Knight of Wands. So you have a fire sign friend, somebody who is inspiring you and giving you information that is very intuitive, but also is just kind of dramatic, and you may feel like it's beyond belief, like it's a little too much. But I would trust this person. This is going to be a friend of yours who is tried and true, and they have your best interests at heart. However, it puts you in a position where we have the Page of Pentacles here, where you're going to need to learn something about your finances or health that is a little disconcerting. And that may be what the Knight of Wands is actually telling you, that there is some disconcerting news having to do with your health or your finances. And then we also have another knight here, the Knight of Swords. And I gotta tell you, in many of the readings this month, we have knights surrounding other cards. Now this, and it's the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. They just keep coming up in all the readings. So the Knight of Swords, of course, wants to rush in and make everything right. But this is also a person who communicates with words. So this could be somebody who is a financial planner, or somebody who analyzes things, or even someone on the legal side who can write things up for you to make you feel more comfortable about what you heard from the Knight of Wands. Perhaps there is something in your finances that needs to be shorn up and you need some sort of legal contracts, or it could be the analysis that the Knight of Swords brings that puts your mind at ease. In the top of the second week, we have the Five of Pentacles. So you are worried a little bit about money and lack and not having enough. So you're going to put your hat on, Scorpio, and start grabbing stuff out of the universe, because that's what you do. Usually you don't worry about money. You just say, well, there's plenty of money to be had, so I'm just going to make sure that some of it comes to me. And most of you are pretty good at manifesting. But here we have in the middle a card in reverse, which is unusual for my decks because I really make it a point to turn all my cards right side up. So the fact that this card came up reversed, let's look at it right side up so you can see the picture here. It's a man who looks to be just prostrate in grief is the phrase that comes to mind. So there is something that you are going to be grieving in that second week, along with this lack of abundance. So it could be a monetary loss that has just really hit you hard, or the potential of a loss, because this is in reverse. So it's not clear to me that this loss has actually come to pass, or if the warning is there for it, because it's not right side up. Then we have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands, again, another fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, somebody who's going to give you some advice about the things that you're dealing with, mainly your money. So this may be a high-level advisor, somebody who can give you some hopeful advice, something that will make you feel very hopeful as you listen to his counseling. At the beginning of the third week, you have a lot of hard work in front of you. This may be rearranging your finances, or it may be actual physical work that you have to do, or it may be just you're busy with a lot of work at your regular job, but you're going to be somewhat distracted from all of these other things that were coming in the first 2 weeks. However, judgment is at hand, as well as the moon. So what does this mean? This means that your soul is being judged. This is not just judgment in the regular world where maybe you did something wrong with your finances, like on your taxes or something, and you're being audited. Not that. No, it's a different kind of judgment. This judgment has to do with your soul, which is the moon. So I would hope, Scorpio, that you are living life with integrity and that this judgment finds you not wanting. I hope that everything works out really well for you in that regard. In the beginning of the 4th week, we have the 3 of Pentacles, which is the card for group work, and also learning underneath someone else, like as an apprentice or a student or a mentee. So this card is showing us that the student is able to do fine work, the student is able to learn under the watchful eye of the other authorities or the teachers. So you're going to be learning something, Scorpio. You're going to be working with a group and putting your efforts towards a group project of some kind. And it is Pentacles, so very likely that project may have to do with money. Then we have the 9 of Swords. You may feel that you've made a serious mistake, or you just may be losing sleep over things because you're so worried about all the things that you've been working at, and you still may not be all the way resolved with your feeling of lack and whatever this issue is in the 2nd week. So you're losing some sleep over that and feeling a lot of anxiety. This could also mean that you have so many things going on having to do with communications, like a lot of papers to read or a lot of videos to watch or a lot of emails to get through. You're just feeling overwhelmed by all of the communication that's going on. That could be another meaning of that card. But the final outcome, Scorpio, is the Empress. And this is a great card for you because the Empress really vibes well with water signs, even though it has the sign for Venus there, which are Taurus and Libra, and they're not water signs. But she's very simpatico with the water signs because she gets along with all the nurturing qualities of the water signs. So in the final analysis, and also she's right next to the moon. So in the final analysis, Scorpio, I think this month is going to be a rich month for you with some lessons to learn about how you manage all of these things. You are going to be judged, but as long as you're living your life in integrity, I don't think it's going to be bad. I do think that you're going to feel like you're missing something. You're going to feel like there is a lack in your life. That could be an illusion. It could be just your perception of this. And you could be talking to advisors who are warning you about something that could happen that would be detrimental to your health or to your business or to your finances. So I do think you're going to be able to resolve all of that, and the Empress could help you resolve all of it. But you are the Empress. You have that power all within you. Now let's look at the Oracle cards, and the first card up is House 8, Transformation, Karma, Facing Fears, and Legacies. And also the 8th house is the house for joint resources. So a lot of this resource issue could have to do with you and your partner's finances, or your retirement fund, or your insurance for your home or your life, or a different kind of investment plan that you have. And that's also 8th house topics. So getting the card for the 8th house means that you need to look at all of this stuff. Now, does it have to do with karma? Perhaps you're getting a judgment card. Does it have to do with fears? Yes, you're really fearing the lack. And does it have to do with legacies? Yes, you're looking at your legacy now, and you're trying to figure out how to deal with that. Let's look and see what the author says about this card. This is a place of danger, but it's also a place of freedom. Here lies the pain and fear you keep hidden and the deep connections that force them to surface. If looked at from the perspective of a lifespan, it's heartbreak or an intimacy-prompted transformation. More figuratively, it's anything that pushes you to face your fears, igniting the life-ending, life-giving cycle of death and rebirth. There is spirituality in this space, as it reveals the karmic wounds you incarnated to heal in this lifetime. Pluto ruled and the natural home of Scorpio, this house holds your secrets and the things you deem taboo. Your experiences with intimacy and sexuality live here as expressions of this landscape. Being a karmic house, it also speaks to legacies and inheritances. There is a heavy, predestined energy to this space as it holds the things you've been given for a reason. It's also linked to research and investigation with so much to untangle, uncover, and transform. karmic connections, secrets, legacies, sexuality, and research, and this will have you facing fears, death and rebirth, transformation, profound change through intimacy, power, and control. Can you imagine life is happening for you, not to you? You've been given perfect challenges to highlight the snags of your soul and perfect gifts to support your healing. Can you let every experience of pain or pleasure work through you? Can you absorb every encounter and then let it go? This means loving with an open palm, being open to loss, trusting the universe will carry you to your next chapter. The physical happenings of your life exist to deliver the medicine you need, and sometimes the healing comes in letting go. Surrender and deepen your connection to the spiritual nature of life. Wow, so a lot to unpack there, Scorpio, but that's your house, and that's something you're very familiar with. And can I also say that we have an eclipse coming up at the end of October on the 25th that is in your sign, that is in Scorpio. So you may be experiencing this about a week before the eclipse, which is again the 25th of October. Let's look at the next oracle card, which is Diana, Queen of the Wilderness. The language of the natural world is a frequency of love. This is my mother tongue. Let's read about Diana. Okay, you can look up Diana. She's a Roman goddess. And I'm going to tell you what the card means. Sometimes the answer is the simple elemental need to just walk barefoot in the grass, or even better, the mud. Sometimes we get so caught up in what's happening, or what isn't happening, that we forget to just be. We forget that there is tremendous power surging up from the earth, wanting to take whatever energy is no longer serving us. And that's what eclipses do. We forget that we can commune with the trees, those ancient protectors and elders whose language comes with the help of the wind and the slow, soft caress that touches our cheek. Answers sometimes need to come from the basic desire of the body to feel grounded here on earth. Diana is associated with fertility, the phases of the moon, and the ability to communicate with animals. Of course, not with any human language, but with the frequency of love and intention which animals perceive. If we open ourselves up to it, we can connect to the wisdom in the natural world even if we live far from it. Even if we're deep in the heart of the busiest city, a sign on a bus, a logo on a t-shirt, or a card someone sends us may carry an image of the animal that wants to reach us. Or we may be visited by a possum on the fire escape or a hawk on a window ledge. We don't have to be in the wilderness to access the wisdom of the natural world. The wilderness is within us. We are a part of it. There's so much more we can receive from the wordless life all around us. We just have to develop the heart that can hear it. The soul voice meditation is, what spirit animal has medicine or a message to give me in this moment? And the intention for you is, the language of the natural world is a frequency of love. This is my mother tongue. So, great love for you here, Scorpio. A reminder that everything is love, that you are love, and that those mysteries, that wordless communication is within you, and that all of this is talking about your 8th house and transformation, which is a house that is traditionally ruled by Scorpio. So that's the reading for you for October, Scorpio. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you very much for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. It really helps the channel a lot. I am still reading every weekend at the New York Renaissance Fair up until October 9th. If you are interested in the fair, if you go to my website, thecoolcrone.com, you'll see a pop-up with all the details for the fair. Also, the weekend after the fair is done, October 15th and 16th, I will be also doing readings at 2 fairs in northern New Jersey. And you can book appointments for those 2 fairs on my website. Just go to the Book Now button and click on fairs. You'll see the flyers for both of the fairs and all of the details there, and you can actually book an appointment from within my website. The reason I do this is because there's a limited number of slots to do readings during a one-day fair, And a lot of people will come up and feel really bad that they missed their opportunity. They waited too long thinking they could come back in the afternoon and get a reading, and I will already be booked up. I usually book up pretty much every slot during those one-day fairs, so you should book online if you want a reading. And those readings cost less than my regular readings through the website because they're shorter. They're much shorter readings. If you want a regular reading, it's right there on my website. You can book from there, thecoolcrone.com. So that's what I have to say for you, Scorpio, for the month of October. Best of luck with this month. It's going to be a challenging month, but I think one that's very rich and fulfilling for you. And with that having been said, I'm going to say good luck with it all, and I will see you next time.